You ever have one of those neighbors who just can't stand the idea that you exist outside their little world? Yeah, that was my life for about a year and a half. I'd moved out to a quiet patch of land at the edge of the Shenandoah foothills, 5 acres of peace, trees, and a lake that looked like glass when the morning fog hit it right. I built that place myself, every beam, every nail. Took me 2 years between jobs, but I didn't mind. I wanted a home that was mine, not some cookie-cutter box squeezed between manicured lawns and mailboxes that all looked like clones. For a while, it was perfect. Just me, the lake, and the sound of crickets at night. Then, a development popped up next door, a whole subdivision called Cedar Ridge Meadows. Vinyl houses, SUVs in every driveway, the smell of fertilizer and conformity. And running the show over there? A woman named Pamela Gaines, president of the Cedar Ridge HOA. Mid-50s, sharp as a thumbtack, and twice as irritating. She had this smile that looked like it came with a manual, perfect teeth, zero warmth. Our first encounter was when she showed up at my door with a clipboard and a flyer about community driveway beautification. I told her I didn't have a driveway that connected to her community. She blinked, smiled tighter, and said, "Well, maybe one day you'll want to be part of something bigger than yourself." I said, "That's why I moved out here, to avoid that exact something." I thought that was the end of it. But see, Pamela didn't like no for an answer. And the thing that really set her off wasn't me. It was the oak tree. That oak was old, older than the subdivision itself. Probably been there since before any of us were born. 70 feet tall, branches like open arms, roots that went deeper than most people's morals. It sat just 5 feet inside my property line, leaning a little toward their lake view. I'd even gone through the paperwork years ago to get it protected by the county as a heritage tree. To me, it was the soul of the place. To Pamela, it was an obstruction. One night, one of my friends who lived over in Cedar Ridge sent me a screenshot from their HOA newsletter. There was a slide in their meeting titled, "Visual Obstruction, Unregistered Tree on Adjacent Property." Underneath, a photo of my oak. I laughed at first, thought it was a mistake. But curiosity got the better of me, so I decided to walk over during their next HOA meeting. They held it in this sterile clubhouse, plastic chairs, bad coffee, that smell of Lysol and judgment. Pamela stood up front, running a PowerPoint like she was hosting a TED Talk on lawn uniformity. I stood in the back, arms crossed, while she clicked through slides about property harmony and aesthetic consistency. Then she pointed at my oak and said, "This particular tree creates a significant break in the lakefront continuity. We're exploring options to have it removed." I raised my hand. The room went still. "Exploring options?" I said. "On land that isn't yours?" She looked at me like I'd just interrupted church. "Well, Mr. Cole," she said, "we thought you might be open to cooperation for the greater community benefit." I smiled. "That tree's protected by the county. I've got the certificate framed in my hallway if you'd like to come admire it." The room chuckled. Pamela didn't. She just nodded slowly and said, "Sometimes people forget that community means compromise. Sometimes people forget that boundaries mean boundaries." I shot back. I walked out before she could say another word. And as I left, I heard her mutter to someone, "Some folks just don't understand responsibility." I understood just fine. I just didn't bow to bullies. A few nights later, around 2 a.m., I woke up with this odd feeling. The woods were too quiet. No frogs, no wind, just heavy silence. I brushed it off, went back to bed. Next morning, though, I woke to a sound that made my stomach drop. A deep, cracking roar followed by a metallic crunch. I ran outside barefoot and froze. My oak, my beautiful old oak, was down, split across my driveway like a fallen giant. And under it, crushed flat, was a black SUV. Smoke curling up from the hood, glass everywhere. Standing nearby was Pamela, in a tracksuit, visor, and an expression that screamed, "I messed up." 2 guys in HOA polos stood beside her, one still holding a chainsaw. "What the hell did you do?" I shouted. Pamela's voice cracked. It was supposed to fall the other way." I stared at her. "You cut it down?" she stammered. "We just wanted to clear the view." "The view? You trespassed on my land at dawn and took down a protected tree." Before I could process more, the front door of my house opened, and out stepped my friend Marcus, a federal sustainability consultant staying over for the weekend. He saw the scene. His government-issued SUV flattened under that oak. and just stood there silent for a beat. Then he pulled out his badge. "Ma'am," he said evenly, "you just destroyed a federal vehicle while trespassing on private property." Pamela turned ghost white. The workers froze. Marcus dialed his office on speaker and said calmly, "I'll need a report number for an incident involving federal assets." The sheriff arrived 20 minutes later. Pamela tried to play innocent, claiming she heard the tree fall and was just helping clear the debris. But my security cameras had a different story, 5 of them, actually, including one hidden inside an old birdhouse pointed right at that tree. The footage was crystal clear. Pamela standing there before sunrise, flashlight in hand, whispering, "Start here, cut low. It'll look natural if it falls across the drive." When the deputies saw it, one of them just muttered, "Well, she's done." But Pamela didn't stop digging. Oh no. 2 days later, the zoning office called me, asking if I'd changed my property lines. Turns out Pamela had submitted a forged survey map showing the tree inside HOA land, complete with a fake signature from a local surveyor. I called the real guy. He nearly choked laughing. Sent me an affidavit swearing it was fake. My lawyer, Claire, filed a civil suit that afternoon. Trespassing, destruction of property, and forgery. And while she was doing that, Marcus's agency filed a federal complaint for destruction of government property. Meanwhile, I got invited to a surprise HOA Zoom meeting titled Community Resolution. My buddy texted, "Join it. You'll want to see this." So I did. I joined muted and listened. Pamela was leading it, all composed again, saying, "We acted in good faith. We believed the tree was within our jurisdiction, and it fell accidentally." I unmuted. "Hi, Pam." She froze mid-sentence. "Oh, Mr. Cole, I didn't realize you were here." "Yeah," I said. "Just wanted to share something with the class." Then I hit share screen. Slide 1. Official county map. My property lines clear as day. Slide 2. Her fake one with the forged signature. Slide 3. A still frame from my camera. Pamela pointing at the tree, whispering orders. Then I hit play. Her voice echoed through the call. "Cut it fast. He won't know it was us." Silence. Then someone on the board said, "Pam, what the hell? Another? You lied to us?" Pamela started babbling about context, about misunderstanding, but it was over. I didn't even have to say another word. The HOA board was in open revolt before the call ended. A week later, we were in court. Claire laid it all out. Trespass, destruction of a protected landmark, falsified documents, federal property damage. The judge, an older woman with eyes like steel, listened, watched the footage twice, then turned to Pamela. "You trespassed," she said. "You destroyed property that wasn't yours. You forged documents to cover it up. You lied to law enforcement." Her gavel hit hard. Full damages awarded to Mr. Cole, $130,000. All costs and penalties to be paid personally. This court will forward evidence of forgery to the prosecutor's office. Pamela didn't even look up. 2 days later, she was removed as HOA president. By the end of the week, the story hit the local paper. HOA president charged after tree fiasco. I didn't gloat. Okay, maybe a little. But mostly, I just felt relief. A month after the mess settled, I planted a new oak right where the old one stood. Smaller, sure, but sturdy. I named it Pamela. Out of irony, mostly, but also as a reminder. I hung a little sign on the fence that said, "Private property, trees bite back." Now, when people walk by and ask what happened here, I just smile and say, nature took care of a problem. We just helped. Funny thing, since then, the new HOA president's been nothing but kind. Wants to set up a natural buffer zone between our properties. Even sent me a handwritten apology. Guess peace really does grow back, if you give it time. But sometimes, late at night, when the wind brushes through those new leaves, I swear I can almost hear a whisper in it. Maybe it's the sound of justice, or maybe it's just Pamela realizing too late that some roots run deeper than control. So, tell me, what do you think? Was I right to fight back, or should I have let it go for the greater good? Drop your thoughts down below. I'm curious. How far would you go to protect what's yours?